Hello, everyone. I am Shannon Schroeder, F-Bomb Coach, and today we're going to talk about breaking the feast and famine cycle. You sprint when money gets low, you coast when you get paid, and the zigzag never stops. Your brain craves urgency, novelty, and quick wins. Stability might feel boring. Boredom leads to procrastination. Procrastination leads to panic, and panic, that's when you start to sprint. But here's the thing. You can keep the thrill. You just need to move it to the right places. And today I'm going to give you a simple framework that stops the chaos without killing your motivation. So I just talked a little bit about your pattern. Money runs low, so you hustle like crazy. You land some clients, make some cash, and then you start to coast. You deserve a break, right? You just did a lot of hustling. You worked hard. Except the break turns into weeks of not doing the boring pipeline work. No outreach, no follow-ups, no marketing. Then the bank account starts to look scary and the panic kicks in and suddenly you can focus again. If you have ADHD or you're neurodivergent, this isn't laziness. It might look like laziness to other people, but your brain literally needs the urgency to activate. When there's no fire, there's no fuel. But using your financial panic as a productivity medication is exhausting and it's keeping you broke. So let's fix it. Here's the framework. Floor, fuel, fun. The floor is your non-negotiable baseline, the income that covers your bills every single month. No guessing, no hoping. Fuel is your repeatable pipeline work, the boring but essential actions that keep your clients coming in. Fun is planned novelty, the projects that keep your brain engaged without wrecking your cash flow. You repeat this weekly. You track your numbers, and then you make small tweaks as you need it. That's it. Floor, fuel, fun. Now let's go a little bit deeper into what each of these mean. So right now, I want you to pause the video and make sure that you have something to write with. Okay, it's going to take a few minutes, but it can really change your business. Okay, you have something to write with? Step one is to write your essentials number. Rent, food, debt, team costs, taxes. What do you need every month to keep the lights on and not panic? And write that number down. We're going to use $4,500. Rent, food, debt, all of it. Everything you need for a month. Step two, divide it by 4.5. That's going to be your minimum weekly revenue. So if we're working with 4,500, I kept the math simple, not a math person. Divide that by 4.5, that's $1,000 a week. So step three is to choose your floor offer. This is the easiest thing for you to sell again and again. A retainer, a course, a clear package, something repeatable, something that doesn't require you to reinvent the wheel every single time you're going to sell it. Step four, you want to price it so that you hit your weekly target with 2 to 5 clients. So if your target is $1,000 a week and you want 4 clients, you need a $250 a week offer or one $1,000 a week retainer client. You need to do the math for your business and what your offers are and what that might look like. Step 5, set a capacity cap. You need to know when to stop selling the offer. Maybe it's 5 clients, maybe it's 10, but you need a number so that you're not drowning in floor work when you should be doing fun projects. Your floor offer is just the foundation. Now you need the full stack, which is your 3R offer stack. Retainers, which are monthly clear deliverables, auto billing. This is recurring revenue that doesn't require you to resell every month. Recurring products, subscriptions, templates, memberships, maintenance plans, things people pay for regularly, again, without you recreating them. And then we have repeatable projects, scoped packages with tight timelines, things like VIP days, sprints, website builds, things that you can do in your sleep because you've done them 50 times. Keep one fun project each month for novelty, a weird one-off, a creative experiment, something that lights you up. Everything else feeds the floor. Okay, this is where most people start to fall apart. The pipeline, because pipeline work is boring. It's the same actions day after day, and your brain hates it. So we're going to try and make it as simple as we can so that you can do it even when you don't want to. And we're going to use the 5-3-1 rule. Every single day, you want 5 new touches. new people you could reach out to, cold DMs, comments on posts, introduction emails. You want 3 warm follow-ups, people that you've already talked to, and you're just going to touch base with them. Hey, just checking in. Did you get my proposal? Any questions? And then 1 clear ask, 1 person you directly ask for business, a referral, a meeting. 531 every day. You also want to make sure that you're using a low friction CRM, way to track who you're reaching out to and when. It doesn't have to be something fancy. If you have something fancy and you like it, by all means use it. But you can use a simple spreadsheet. The name of the person, the stage that they're in, what's the next step is, what's the date. You can use Google Sheets. It takes you 2 minutes to update. When we're looking at the 531 rule, you could do it, you don't have to do it all at once. You could do 2 short block sessions in a day, 25 minutes in the morning, 25 in the afternoon. That should be enough time for these 9 touches. And once you do that, 50 minutes of pipeline work a day, that's a lot of work that you've accomplished. If you can't handle it on any given day, you have no motivation, cut it to 10 minutes. Do just the 1 clear ask, call it good. Rather than scrubbing the whole thing, minimum beats 0 every single time. And again, use templates for everything you possibly can. Your outreach emails, your follow-up messages, your proposals. Templates save you from decision fatigue. You don't have to think about what am I going to say. You have a template, fill in the blanks. It saves your brain a lot of effort and energy, and it makes all of the pipeline a little bit easier to handle. Your ADHD brain needs variety. So we're going to give it structure with rotation. So here's a possible weekly rhythm. Obviously, adjust it for what works for you, but you do need to have some rhythm. So you're doing a different thing each day. You're doing the things that need to get done, but it's not the same thing every single day. So you're not doing some pipeline, some client work, some nurturing, some delivery every single day, because that is where the boredom comes in. If you're doing pipeline on Monday, you're going to review your leads, send your asks, update your CRM, and you're going to start building your week with momentum. On Tuesday, maybe that's client work. 90 minutes of deep work. You're not dealing with your inbox. You're not looking on Slack. You're not scrolling on your phone. You're just delivering what needs to be done. Wednesday could be a nurture day. Post 1 helpful thing on social media. DM 2 people. Build relationships. It's not about selling on Wednesday. You're just nurturing that community. On Thursday, you're delivering things. Delivery and invoices. Finish your client work. Send invoices. Chase the late payments if you need to. Have a script ready. And then Friday is your money check-in. You track your numbers. What was your revenue this week? How many proposals were sent? What is your cash on hand? If your numbers are red when you check on Friday, then you know that next week you're going to put your weekly money rhythm aside and you're going to do a sprint mode week. If you're green, you're going to maintain. You're going to do the same thing again next week. The weekly check-in is what's going to keep you out of panic mode. You see the dip coming before it becomes a crisis, and that's when you can act strategically instead of desperately. So what happens when you do your money check and it's in red? Cash is low, proposals are slow. What do? You run a controlled sprint, not a panic sprint, a planned sprint. Run a 7-day campaign. 1 clear offer, 1 deadline, daily touch points with your audience, 60 minutes of outreach a day, 1 live piece of content a day, 1 email to your list, 1 DM block. Script your asks ahead of time. Do not wait until you're in sprint mode. These are things that you have to do on day 0. You're going to prep those assets. Figure out what you're going to say, what's your offer, what's your content going to be, what's the email going to be, what's your DM going to be. Get it all set on day 0. Create those graphics, record the videos, whatever you need to do. And then sprint mode that week is just about execution. And then you want to make sure that you are ending your sprint mode week with a reset day. You need 1 full day where you rest, handle the admin, recap what worked, review what didn't work, how could you tweak it for next time, update your pipeline. This way you are preventing the burnout and the crash. This becomes a strategic push. All right, let's talk about keeping your brain engaged without creating chaos. If floor work is boring, you're not going to do it. We know this. That's why you struggle with it. So we need to make it not boring. One way is through temptation bundling. Pair a dull task with something you love. Only let yourself have the fancy coffee during pipeline work. Some people watch their favorite show while doing admin. Find what thing you like to do or like to have you can bundle with one of the things that you really dislike. Beat the timer. Turn boring tasks into a game. Can you send 5 follow-up emails in 10 minutes? Can you update your CRM in 5? Make it a race. Your brain likes that urgency, that you're feeding it the urgency that it likes to have. Rotate tasks every 25 minutes. Again, the 25 is arbitrary. It might be 15 for you. It might be 30. It might be 10. Whatever your focus block is. But rotate. Do some admin. Switch to creative work. Switch to outreach. You're giving yourself a little bit of novelty every 15, 20 minutes. Don't do the same thing for hours because your brain's going to be like, I'm bored, I'm out. You want to set environment cues. Have a focus playlist that only plays during pipeline time. Put your phone in another room, use browser blockers, train your brain that when you do this, when you hear this music, when you turn on, a site blocker, your brain starts to equate that with it's work time now. And use novelty tokens. Give yourself permission for one planned experiment each week. That's your get out of boredom free card. Maybe you try a new marketing platform. Maybe you test a new offer. Maybe you switch up your content, your content format. One experiment, contained, planned. This satisfies your brain's need for novelty, the new shiny thing, without blowing up your whole system. You're giving it the permission to do what it wants to do anyway. These systems here, the cash flow guardrails, are things that you set up once, and they help keep you from drowning later. First up, separate bank accounts, one for income, one for taxes, one for that you're paying yourself, operations account. Automate transfers every Friday into these accounts. Why does this matter? When everything is in one account, you have no idea what you can actually spend. It's a big lump sum, so it looks like you have a lot of money, but you're not taking it into account. Oh, I have taxes and I have operations and I've got to pay for this subscription or that. If you have things divided, then you have clarity. Set your payment terms up front and stick to them. 50% up front, net 7 or net 14. Make sure that your clients know what your late fees are. Put it in your contract, in your invoice. Put retainers on auto pay. Use subscription links or recurring invoices. If people have to manually go in and pay you every month, they absolutely will forget. It's not that they're trying to steal from you. It's just something on their to-do list, and you know how things go. They could sit on that to-do list, and it doesn't happen, right? Build a 6-week operating cushion. You need to have some money set aside. Skim 10% off of each payment and put it in a buffer account. That way, when you hit a slow month, you have some breathing room. You're not going into panic mode. You do want to have a panic plan. Write down what 3 actions you can do when you have a cash dip before you're in panic mode. So don't wait until panic mode and say, okay, oh my gosh, what do I have to do? Create the plan ahead of time. Knowing the plan means that you won't freeze when things get tight. You'll be like, okay, I already have a plan for this. That number's looking scary. What are the 3 things that I need to go do? Here's what nobody tells you about breaking the feast or famine cycle. You don't lose the thrill. You don't become boring. You don't turn into some robotic, buttoned-up business person. You move the excitement from, will I make rent, to what cool new thing can I try this month? Your neurodivergent brain doesn't need chaos. It needs novelty, urgency, and stimulation. And you can engineer all 3 of these without gambling your rent money. The feast-famine cycle isn't your personality. It's what happens when you don't have the right systems. Build the floor, run the fuel, add the fun. That way you can keep the thrill, but lose the chaos. Thank you.